kids, welcome to Bible Basics. Today we are working on the third of the David series, and we're going to explain how David showed King Saul mercy by making a heart with mercy in the middle of it. And that kind of symbolizes what mercy is. Even though somebody might do something that's not very nice to you, to show mercy to them is to just say, you know what, it's okay, I'm not going to do anything bad back. That's what mercy is, and that's exactly what David showed King Saul in the cave. And I hope y'all enjoy and are having a good week.
What is mercy? Mercy is compassion in action. Have you heard of the mercy rule in sports? That's when a competition ends early if one team is clearly overpowering the other team. Continuing a game when one team is clearly going to lose is simply humiliating. And no one likes to be humiliated. While the word grace means getting something that we do not deserve, mercy is not getting a punishment we do deserve. Having a heart full of mercy means you are kind and forgiving. When you show mercy to someone who really does not deserve it, you both receive joy.
All right, kids, let's see what is in the bag today. Oh, we've got pretty markers and paper. Oh, and a heart that says mercy. This is going to be so much fun. And a piece of material. Now, this piece of material is going to represent the piece of material that David cut from Saul's robe when he was showing him mercy. So I'll be right back and we'll get started with this. Okay, kids, first we're going to color the word mercy. And I don't know if you guys have ever had one of these before, but this is called a Shrinky Dink. And when Miss Kris was a kid, long time ago, probably y'all think so anyway, they used to have kits that were really fun for these. I think they might still have them, but they're probably not quite as popular. So after I outline my letters, I'm going to go back through and color them. It's just easier for me to stay inside the line if I outline it first. And while I'm doing this, we're going to talk a little bit about mercy. Mercy is, say, Tessa, with your sister. If your sister came up and pulled your hair or did something that wasn't very nice that brothers and sisters tend to do, if instead of hollering for your mom or turn around and pulling her hair back, you just walked away and said, you know what, it's okay. That is a form of mercy. And I'm gonna color this in. And Paul, your little brother's getting older too. If he was playing with something and say one of your dinosaurs or one of your trains or something like that, and he picked it up and he broke it, instead of going and getting your mom or your dad and telling on him, you just say, you know what, that's okay, you're little. Let's see, I almost got this colored in. Okay. And Omri, say Lottie does something that's not very nice, which is probably not going to happen. And you were really mad, but instead of showing her that you were mad, if you just turn around and walk away and get calmed down and decide, you know what, it's just not worth it, you're showing mercy to her. Mercy is also a form of showing love. That even though when people do stuff that you don't like, you can go ahead and go on and show them that you're bigger than that. So we've got mercy colored in, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to color the heart in. And let's see, Gresham, let's figure out a way for you to show mercy. Say if your little brother, you've got your kindergarten homework that you're working on, and your little brother goes and takes your crayons and colors all over it, except for probably not really coloring very well. So, and you know that he's little and he just doesn't mean to do stuff like that. So instead of going and telling your mom or your dad, if you just get the crayons away from him so that way he doesn't do anything else, and say, it's okay, you're little, that is showing mercy. And Isaac, when you are playing with one of your little friends and say they took one of your toys, you really wanted to play with it, but you figured, well, you can share while they're there. So instead of getting mad at them and saying stuff that's not very nice to them, then you just let them play with it. That's showing mercy. And Aiden, you've got 2 older brothers. I bet at some point they have done something to show mercy to you. You might have done something that little kids do sometimes. And if they just walk away instead of getting all mad at you, that is showing mercy. So give me just a minute and I will have my heart all colored in, and then we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to go in the kitchen. Okay, kids, now we've got the heart colored and we've got mercy colored. And now we are going to, now you got to make sure you have your parents for this. Now we're going to go into the kitchen and finish our art. We are going to cook our Shrinky Dink and make it shrink. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Kids, it's been a long time probably since you've seen the church, but it's just like it was. You need to have a cookie sheet, and this is called parchment paper. sometimes if you bake cookies, you can put this underneath it, and that way it doesn't stick. Okay, so we're going to put our heart on the parchment paper on the pan, and then we're going to stick it in the oven. Now, you probably have an oven that has glass in the door and a light, so you'll want to sit there and watch the Shrinky Dink as it shrinks. But this one, as you can see, it doesn't have a light and doesn't have a door, so we just have to put it in there and watch it so it doesn't mess up. But the oven needs to be on 325 degrees. Here in just a minute, it'll start doing some really cool stuff. You will not believe how little this piece will be after it gets through in the oven. Oh, cool, look at this. It is curling up. That is just so cool. This is one of my favorite things to play with when I was a little girl. And it's curling up. The one that I did at the house, it curled up into a complete ball, and I was like, oh no, this is going to be really messy. And then it flattened back out. And I made one that I did not cook long enough, so it's real important that you just sit there and watch it for it to lay back out, so that way it cooks long enough, but then it doesn't, you don't mess it up too bad. Okay, now it's still curled up a little bit, but as you can tell, don't do this to your oven. As you can tell, it is flattening out, but it's got to be completely flat before you pull it out, or it won't shape quite right. We're getting there. We're almost there. And see, the little piece at the bottom of the heart is not quite flat. So you want to make sure it's good and flat. You need to make sure you have your parents right here with you when you're doing this. This is that point where you're afraid that it's going to be cooked too much, but you got to just wait until it gets completely flat. It's almost there. It's probably because I keep on leaving the door open. You know, they say that if you watch a pan of water boil, it will never boil. This is kind of like the same thing. I think we got it pretty good. Okay, now we're going to let it cool, and you want to just set this to the side and let it cool, but I'm going to carry it back in our Sunday school room. Okay kids, now we're back in the classroom, and our Shrinky Dink has cooled off, so we're able to handle it. And just to remind you, it does say mercy, and mercy is when, even when other people aren't very nice to you, you just kind of turn the other cheek. You walk away from it and don't act ugly back. So you are going to put this on the top so that way you can hang it, but it's also representative of the piece of material that David cut off of Saul's robe when he was showing him mercy. And I'm having trouble tying this. Hold on. We will get it tied. There we go. I hope you guys show others mercy and have a great week.